My name is Sharon and I live in Melbourne, Australia. I was diagnosed with Refsum last year in 2022 when I was 51 years old. I was diagnosed with RP 40 years ago when I was 11, and I had so many of the symptoms of Refsum already then, but clearly the people who diagnosed me with RP at the time weren't familiar with Refsum. I had already so many of the signs. I've got unusual hands and feet. I even had surgery on my feet when I was 11. The orthopaedic surgeon clearly didn't know about Refsum either, or he would have looked into it further. I have no sense of smell. I don't remember ever having a sense of smell. And I get some pins and needles in my hands and feet as well, although that's more recent. I have had some hearing loss, probably for about 8 years now. I've been to several ENTs about that. They didn't make a connection either. So there's clearly a lack of knowledge in the community amongst the medical professionals of what Refsum is, because there were so many signs that could have been put together, and then I would have had my diagnosis way earlier. It was really difficult to get a diagnosis. I needed to do genetic testing, and it was hard to get genetic testing done. So I eventually became part of a research study to get the genetic testing done, which gave me the diagnosis of Refsum. I really strongly believe that as soon as someone is diagnosed with RP, they should just automatically have a blood test to check their phytanic acid level. That would instantly alert to any issues with Refsum, and then it could be confirmed with a genetic test if need be. But it would be so easy to diagnose. And if I would have known sooner, there is so much I would have done differently about my life. I would never have fasted. I would never have done crazy diets to lose weight really quickly. I wouldn't have over-exercised. I would have eaten completely differently. I do all those things now, but I'm at a stage now where, it's never too late, but I've been left with only 5 degrees of peripheral vision now. When I was diagnosed, I had 120 degrees. Normal is 170 degrees. Like I said, I'm down to 5 degrees of peripheral vision, which is extraordinarily difficult to live with, as well as many other symptoms of RP like night blindness, etc. I think that it is really important that ophthalmologists are more aware of what Refsum disease is, because there is so much that can be done to slow down the progression of the vision loss, hearing loss, all the different things that can happen with Refsum if you're diagnosed early. There's an amazing food chart on the DARE website. You need to go to a metabolic doctor, you need to go to a dietitian, you need to become familiar with that food chart. Get in touch with the president of DARE. Christy will have a chat with you. She'll point you in the right direction if there are things you can do in your local area, or the support group on the Facebook group is also an amazing way to connect with people. And find yourself some new recipes. It's hard to do. I found it really hard to let go of eating the healthiest foods that I used to eat, like green vegetables. That was really upsetting for me to have to stop eating. Salmon, almonds, lots of things that I used to eat for health, I can't have anymore. I have found substitutes. Like I said, they're not as healthy as what I used to eat, but obviously they're better for me to not elevate my phytanic acid levels. And yeah, good luck with it. It's not an easy disease to live with, but there are ways to manage it.